Hi everyone, this is Moni Singh and welcome to Teaching STEM. Today we are talking about creation, one of the foundational elements of making impactful STEM classes. It is so important that in whatever dimension, whether you think STEM, you think STEAM, you think STREAM, in any of those, we almost look at creation to go hand in hand with that, right? Making something, building something, any of those things, so that the child can really connect that learning with by creating something. Now, it is creation as a skill set is becoming an important requirement for personal as well as professional success. And if the child is go as the child go towards the professional world, the knowledge of how to create and innovate is almost an expectation, and something that if they know, they'll be prepared for the challenges of society and the workforce in general. When you think about creativity, there are three elements, three different ways to think about them. One is thinking creatively, so the think process. The second is working creatively with others. And the third element is innovating. And many times when we think about STEM or STREAM, we think about that third element, the innovation, right? Where you're building something, putting something together. Um, the creation, I think it's so fundamental. When I look back and I think back to when I started STEM for Kids, we began with this with the goal of four C's, and making sure that anything that we do, any curriculum, any lessons, any activities, we were always weaving in the soft skills, right? People call them the soft skills back then. The hard skills being, okay, knowing the engineering concepts, or knowing how to do certain things, the technicalities of a learning. But then the soft skills were the skills of being able to work together, with team members, being able to talk and communicate your ideas. So we brought that. We said, okay, let's bring it and make it a seamless part of anything that we do. So the four C's, just for your information: the skill of communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and of course, creativity. So focusing more on the creation itself. Now, if you're familiar with the Bloom's taxonomy, now, Bloom's taxonomy, it's like a pyramid. It's used in education, in curriculum designing, teaching, and learning and assessing how the child is learning. And this was created by Benjamin Bloom, who chaired like a committee of educators back, I think, in the 1950s. And since then, it has been revised multiple times, and it continues to be used because it's like a good framework of helping children's learning. So basically, it's a hierarchy, right? It's a pyramid, and if you begin at the bottom, those will be the more like the basic foundational learning, and then you go up into more of these advanced learning. And so the way the pyramid works from the bottom is remembering, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and then create. On the very top of that pyramid is create, right? So it's really profound when you think about this idea of creation, because when if you think back to your own experiences, right? Whatever we learn, but if you're able to take all that learning and create something new, whether it's another lesson for somebody else, so you're actually teaching somebody what to do, how to do, or you create some product out of that learning. Those are times when your learning is at its pinnacle, right? And so you can really, with your the STEM experiences you're creating, help the child rise up to that, to the pinnacle, right? The creation aspect, and you can build that all throughout the journey with the children, right? So any kind of activities, any classes you're doing, you don't have to wait till the last class, for example, or towards the end of your progression to do the creation. The creation can be the entire in the process itself. You can keep putting some creation element throughout, because at the end of the day, I have found the STEM teaching to be most effective when you are getting the child to go and create something throughout that journey, right? Theory doesn't work, so you have to kind of get the kid engaged and having them make something, do something, experiment, so on and so forth. So I'm going to give you an example of how you can take a learning and actually help the child go up on that Bloom's taxonomy towards creation. So I'll give you like an example with one concept. So let's say you're working with the idea of second law of motion, which basically in for all the people out there, if you are a physics fan, and you probably know force equals mass times acceleration. I I never, when we go with children and we work with children, we never introduce second law of motion like that. But I know personally when I was growing up, that's all I knew about second law of motion. F equals m times a. And it was all about just a formula, right? And you say, okay, given this amount of force and this is the mass of the body, what's the acceleration? And you're really just going, looking at the formula and figuring out answers. I don't believe as I was growing up, I fully understood the concept itself. So what we do when we do, and this is something I encourage for everybody, right? Formulas and all those things are okay, but they are not the first entry level of an introduction of a concept, right? You want to begin by having the children experience that concept, so they can start developing that idea by themselves, right? That, oh, there's a direct proportionality between for force, there's a direct proportionality with, let's say, mass. So if something is heavy, I need more of a push or a pull to make it move, right? So we want the child to experience this and develop that understanding as opposed to looking at a mathematical formula. So yeah, I mean, when we introduce these topics, we'll do it more with, children pushing like a bowling ball or a lighter like a tennis ball and so on and so forth. So they start to develop that understanding. And then, if there are old enough kids, then you can bring in the formula and all those things. Okay, so having said that, let's say you are dealing with that topic as part of your, mechanical engineering or biomedical or aerospace. I mean, that law touches so many different fields of application out there. So again, kind of going into the Bloom's taxonomy again, right? So if you begin at the top bottom, something as simple as, okay, tell me, what do you understand from the second law of motion, right? State the second law of motion. That will be like at the very bottom, remembering, right? The next level goes into describe the second law in your own words and let the child describe. That's understanding. Now at least they have a little bit better understanding and they're able to tell you back in their own words. The next level, demonstrate to me an example which shows the second law in action. So maybe they can enact something, right? Or they can do some other something else. Maybe they do try to show you, pushing a book, or so you can have them show an example of how do you see that application of that. The next level would be, okay, what would happen if the object got really heavy? What will you need to change in your demonstration? So for example, if they were showing you, by pushing a book, now you say, okay, let me give you a full stack of books. Now what happens? If you compare your demonstration with what Sam just showed us, for example, what's different? What's similar? Now, building some connections. So the next question could be, okay, what effect does the first law of motion have on how the second law presents itself? You see how you're kind of starting to take the child more and more deeper into their own thought process? The next level, let's say Nancy, another child, is doing, shown her demonstration. So you could ask, what do you think about Nancy's demonstration? Does it show the second law adequately? Why not? Now you're asking the child to critique, right? And you could use that even, let's say, in one of the STEM activities, you actually had children make, let's say, computer games. You can have those kinds of critiquing, each other's work in a positive way as part of this higher order of thinking and application. Now, going to the very top, right, creation part. This is where you can have prompts like build me a car, like an engineering design project, right? Give them a challenge. You are only allowed to use certain materials, and here are the constraints, the criteria. Build me a car that can, do X, Y, and Z. Um, or it could be something like if you're bringing a technology, like a coding connection to all of this, you could say, okay, can you create a movie animation to explain the second law of motion to someone who doesn't know about it at all? And you see how you can bring all of this together in a way that really starts the child, allows the child to innovate and be creative as you take whatever topic that you're working with. I hope this was helpful. And with that, we'll end this discussion. Take care, everyone.